What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I'm here tonight with the review for Claws. This is season 3, episode number 5, and it was titled Zaddy Was a Rolling Stone. So, you guys, without further ado, let's get into the video. And I also do want to say, shout out to the executive producer. Like, every time I post my Claws videos, she likes my tweet when I post it and I share it to Twitter. She likes my tweet and she retweets me. So, it's really cool to know that somebody out there is looking at looking at this stuff. Like, it makes me feel so good about what I'm doing, because sometimes I get bogged down with this stuff. I'm like, I don't feel like I'm doing good enough. But then I look at my views. Sometimes my views are not that well, but it's okay because I'm a small channel and I'm okay with that. But then when I see my subscribers keep going up, I'm like, okay, people are watching me, people like what I say. And also, I do want to say, like, thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel, who likes all my videos, who shares my videos, who put my videos in playlists, the ones who comment on my videos. Like, thank you guys so much. Like, you don't know what that means a lot to me, for real, because a year ago when I, wanted to do this, I've actually wanted to do YouTube because this channel has been in existence for 10 years. I've had this channel since 2009, and I've wanted to do videos since 2009, but I had some insecurities that I had to get over in order to do this. And now that I've gotten over them, I'm happy. And then when I started this channel last year, when I only had 3 subscribers, and now I'm almost at 200 subscribers, I'm really trying to get, and I'm almost at my goal. My goal is to get to 1,000 so that I can reach monetization. But that's not even really a goal. That's my goal, monetization. But my goal is to, get into doing what I really want to do with my life: music, acting, all that stuff. And I hope that people see me on my channel, take me seriously, and see that I want to learn. Like, I want to learn behind the scenes. And I'm gonna look too deep. But you guys, we're just gonna go ahead and talk about Claws. So I'm gonna stop right there. All right, you guys. So I don't really know how I'm gonna start this episode, but I think I'm gonna start it with Polly, because my notes are kind of, I did start recording a few minutes ago, and I got 11 minutes in, and I realized that I had, kind of turned some scenes around. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go in order of, like, people in the scenes. So I'm gonna start with Polly first. So, we see Polly and we see Joe, and they're in Joe's office, and looks like Polly and Joe are still extorting people for money. And, they still sneaking around and hooking up with each other. And, Mac and Melba don't know, nor does Desna know what's going on with either one of them. And, we noticed that Polly is starting to let her guard down with Joe, and Joe is starting to have feelings for Polly. And Joe, surprises Polly with a gift. And I don't know, I think it was a necklace. I think it was either a necklace or it was a tennis bracelet, one of the two. I wasn't really paying that hard of attention to it. So, like I said, they're falling for one another. So then we see the black woman that was, being tortured by Mac and Melba in that teepee. And, she's following Polly around. And we find out that, black woman accountant, she had a relationship with Joe from the casino. And she's telling Polly, like, okay, I've been following you and Joe. I know y'all extorting people. I know that Mac and Melba don't know about it on Joe's end, and Desna don't know about it on your end. She was like, so you got one option. You either you got to let me in on this shit, because if you don't, I'm going to go rat to tell Desna and Mac and Melba what the fuck I know, and you ain't going to like it. So Polly's like, and she got 24 hours to do it. Polly's like, fuck. So then we see Polly, she goes to Joe's office. And, she's telling Joe, like, so what's the deal between you and, her name is Yolanda. And, actually Polly went to the casino and she was pretending to be an elderly woman on a cane with her son, with her visor like this. And she was just walking. And he's like, ma'am, I think you're in the wrong place. She's like, no, I'm not in the wrong place. It's me. So she's telling him everything about Yolanda. And, he tells her, like, you don't have anything to worry about. Yolanda's not a threat. Yolanda's just all bark and no bite. So you absolutely have nothing to worry about. Now, we did see at the salon in one scene where Polly got a text message. And I think it was from Yolanda. And I don't know what the text message said, but she went over to Yolanda's place. And we see Yolanda hanging from the door seal, and looked like some, I know she didn't. I know Yolanda didn't kill herself. It was Joe who in fact killed her. So then we see Polly go to Joe's office, and she's like, "So I just came from Yolanda's house, and Yolanda is fucking dead." And Joe's like, "Yeah, Yolanda was suicidal." She was like, "So was Penelope suicidal as well?" And she was like, "Okay, so when people get in your way and don't and mess with things, like, so that's what happened to them." So she was like, "What? So what if I get in your way and cause problems? Is that gonna happen to me too?" And she leaves. I'm like, "Polly, you did the right thing. Get the fuck out of Dodge, because that motherfucker there is crazy, like a motherfucker. It's crazy as fuck." All right, you guys. So these things, the things that I'm about to talk about now, they're I'm gonna try to make them flow perfectly. So the episode, it opened. We saw Desna and Roller. She was cleaning up his snake bite, and then Roller's talking about how he wants to move in with her, and Desna's like, "I'm kind of not sure about that." She's literally, because her daddy left her. Ruval was a piece of shit, and she's just kind of not sure what she wants to do. And then we saw this weird 80s style, 90s style music video with them in it. So then we later saw Roland and Desna. They were at the food truck, and she said that, "Hey, we good. You don't have nothing to worry about." And then she's talking about her dad, how she knows she's found her dad. And he said, "Well, maybe you should reach out to him." And again, she's just reluctant. She's not quite sure what she's gonna do. So then we do see Desna. She goes to see her dad, and she tells him who she is. And he's like, because he actually asked, "Do I know you?" She said, "I'm your daughter." My back just popped. And he was like, "Can we talk later?" And I'm like, after all these years, you say, "Can we talk later?" Like, that was fucked up. So then Desna calls Dean, who is with Mac, who has a gift for him. And then, Melba walked up to Mac, and she was like, "Why are you still fucking with him? Like, we were just using him to get to Desna. Now that Desna has signed everything over to us, we don't need him anymore." And Mac is like, he sees potential in Dean with the mahjong. He can make the casino money. She's like, "You're not even really worried about money. Like, leave him alone. Like, we don't want Desna here, so, and with him being here, you're giving her a reason to come here. So, like, worry about your school." But it's something really weird about Mac when it comes to Dean. I don't know what that is. So then we do see Desna. She's at the casino and she's looking for Dean, but she spots Mac. She goes up to Mac and she asks Mac, like, "What the fuck is your deal with my brother? Like, you got what you wanted. Leave my brother the fuck alone." So then she leave. Mac is telling her to leave, and security's trying to get her out. She's like, "Don't fucking touch me. I leave when I'm getting ready to leave. I'm about to leave. You ain't gotta worry about it." So she leaves, and then she calls Dean. She's at the nail shop, and she's leaving a voicemail for Dean. And then uh, um, Jen tells her that she has a visitor there, and it's her daddy. So then, he's telling her that he owes her an apology, and basically how he dreaded the day that he would run into her or Dean. And I'm like, wow. I don't know if you should say that to her, but okay. So, he says that he's basically tried to pretend that they didn't exist, and how he, kind of wants to make a try with both of them. So Desna, she tells him that, if you want to do that, you might want to first start by trying to reach out to Dean, who's at the casino. So, so we see him, and he goes to the casino, and Dean is there, and he's playing mahjong, and their dad joins him at the table. They're talking, and I guess Dean lost track of the game, and he ended up losing his game, and he got mad. So their dad was like, "Well, how about let me take you out to eat?" He's like, "No, I'm playing my game." So he starts playing another game, and he wins this game. So then Desna shows up with their dad, telling him, like, "Dean, we gotta go. Like, let's go." And then she said, "Let's go before they notice us." And then security sees them, and they start to leave. So so when they were at the casino, Mac notices their dad, whose name is Calvin, by the way. And he tells Joe, like, "I need you to find out all that you can find out about that guy for me." So I guess, and Joe told him, "Well, we got his credit card information, so we can find out some information from that." So then we do see a scene where Mac met up with Calvin, and he was trying to bribe Calvin to not be in Dean's life. And then we finally find out that he didn't accept that bribe. So he goes back to the office where Melba is, who's using a vibrator on herself. And she was like, what did she say to him? So she's like, what do you want me to do? So then we see a scene where Melba goes and she coincidentally runs into Calvin, and she slips something into his drink. So then we saw Calvin. He took Desna and Dean on a tour of a building. I don't know where the building was. And they're getting along very well. So Dean basically wants to go back to his mahjong table, and Calvin tries to give him some advice, and he's like, "I'm not a crackhead," and I'm like, "Well, you don't have to be a crackhead to be addicted to something. You can be addicted to pills, which is a drug, alcohol, sex, gambling, which that's what you're leading towards to is a gambling addiction." And he tells them that he has this event that he's having, and he wants to invite them to it. So Des is like, "I'm not quite sure about that, but let me think about it." So then we see Desna. She's with Roller, and she's telling Roller like, "Hey, had a good day, with my daddy. He wants us to." So she tells him, "Hey, go ahead and move in with me. Let's make this work." So then we see at the event, the speaker, she's introducing Calvin. So Calvin gets up and he's kind of spaced out, and I'm like, "Oh shit, he's high." Because I thought maybe Melba poisoned him, but then I'm like, nah, that would be too easy. And I figured out she drugged him, which she did, and he starts to throw up on Desna's shoes, and Dean leaves. And, Desna's like, "Fuck, are you serious?" So, Virginia and Dean are in the back of an Uber, and I guess they were heading home, and Dean's like, "Take me to the casino." And, Virginia's like, "No, we're not going to the casino." So Dean was like, "Well, if you don't take me to the casino, you can pull this Uber over and I'll get my own Uber." So he hopped out the car, and I'm like, "Well, damn, like, you really don't give a shit about Virginia at this point." And Virginia finally realized that, and the woman behind her told her to move. And she's like, "Shut up, bitch." So then we see Desna. She's talking to the girls at the shop about what happened with Calvin. And we see Ann. Ann is in a bathroom. Ann is taking a pregnancy test, and Ann is pregnant by the man that she had the one-night stand with. I'm like, God damn, that's gotta be fucked up. So Calvin shows up, and Calvin tells Desna he don't know what the fuck happened, and he tells her about Mac, and she's like, he was telling her about the strange man. He said, "I didn't think nothing of it at the time, but now I am," about him bribing him. And she's like, "Mac." She's like, "Okay, but that doesn't explain you being high." He's like, "I didn't take anything." He was like, "I mean, the only thing I did was help this strange woman." She's like, "Strange how?" He's like, it's as if she had emphysema. They're like, "Did she have a pump attached to her or something?" He said, "Yeah." And they were like, "Melba." And Desmond's like, "You know what? I am so sorry to get you involved in all this shit with me." He's like, "What the fuck are you involved in?" I'm like, "Bro, you really don't want to fucking know what she's involved in." I'm like, whoo, that's a long ass. All right, so next we had Bryce. So Bryce was at the clinic, and he was doing his counseling thing, and it was like maybe 6 people there, and I'm like, really? Okay. So then we find out that this fool got a book. I'm like, really, Bryce? You got a whole book on what, counseling? Okay. So then Uncle Daddy and Brenda show up, and Bryce is like, "What the fuck? Like, I thought we said she wasn't gonna be here. Like, why is she here? What the fuck?" And Bryce is like, "Okay, Uncle Daddy, if you're gonna have her here, I'm not gonna be here." And Uncle Daddy's like, "Well, we need to help her, so what are you gonna do?" He said, "I quit." So, we see Uncle Daddy and we see Brenda. They flirting with each other. I'm like, oh shit. And we see Toby. Toby is not happy. I'm like, ooh, look at that green jealous monster. Toby is pissed that his man is flirting with Brenda. Not cool. So then later on in the episode, we see Virginia has took over as Bryce's spot at the clinic. I'm like, wow. We go from Bryce to Virginia. But okay, if y'all say so. So then Bryce walks by and he sees Virginia, and Bryce is like, "What the fuck, Virginia?" And he's back at the nail shop with the girls, and he was telling them like, um, so Virginia is over there, doing the counseling. She's not even qualified for it. I went to school for 2 weeks online and got certified, and then you got her who is not even qualified for this. I'm like, well, technically, Bryce, if you only went to school for 2 weeks for counseling, you're not qualified either. Just saying. Just putting it out there. So then we see Virginia, she's doing this like soul circle thing, and then we see Jen and Bryce show up. And this is an intervention for Jen and her mama Brenda. So Brenda comes out and she's like, I know this hoe ain't here. And eventually, Virginia goes up to Jen, is like, there's some deep rooted pain there. Let it on out. So she was talking about how back in the second grade, this boy that she liked told her she smelled like a wet dog. And his friends they tormented her, and I guess her mama them did something, but they bonded with each other. And looks like Jen and Brenda are on good terms with one another again. So we're gonna see how this plays out. We really will. So we're gonna keep it moving. All right, you guys. So then we're gonna move over to the shop. So everything I'm gonna talk about now is gonna pretty much be dealing with stuff that happened at the nail shop. So we see at the shop that Mac and Melba have sent them some food, and Desna's like, they sent some more food again, and they were like, yep. And she's like, okay, from here on out, we all need to stay the fuck away from that damn casino. And she's telling the girls how Roller wants to move in with her, but she's not sure about that. And then Ann says, well, I think Ann said that she and Arlene had moved in together. I'm like, damn, that was quick. Y'all just got back together, but okay. So then, the girls think, like I said, the girls believe that, that Desna and Roller should move in together. And she's reluctant. But Polly says, you have daddy issues. And then she says, me and Roller had that conversation this morning. And then, she says that she's found her dad, and that he's this big time architect. And, maybe she's talking about how she thinks she should reach out, and they all like, yeah, reach out to him. So then, this is not really at the shop, but we see Virginia, and Virginia went to the casino, and Dean is at the casino, and he's doing push-ups, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing push-ups for? So basically, he hasn't been home. I don't know how long he hasn't been home, but he hasn't been home in a while, and Virginia's just worried about him. So then Virginia's questioning him about their relationship, and he tells Virginia that she's being needy, and I'm like, well, god damn, like, if you haven't been home, she's literally worried about you. You spend all your time at the fucking casino. Okay, if you say so. This is going to be the end of Virginia and Dean. So back at the shop, we see this girl, and Ann is doing her nails. Well, actually, she's giving her a pedicure, and the girl is acting like she's black, and I'm like, she was fronting. She was giving you like Rachel Dolezal, because somebody compared her to Rachel Dolezal. She was giving you Rachel Dolezal teas. She was giving you Sarah teas from Love After Lockup with the hood accent. And Bryce was at the shop. He was telling the girls that he's not working at the clinic because of Jen and her mom. And then Jen grabs that girl by her hair, because she said we fooled that nigga or something like that. And so Desna tells him that she met her dad, who acted like he didn't even know who she was. And then Virginia tells Desna that Dean is basically at this point living at the fucking casino. And I'm like, and Desna's like, what the fuck? Oh god. I'm frustrated with Dean, because like I keep saying, I get where he's coming from, but damn, if your sister's like, what she's been through, listen to what your sister's saying. I don't know what the deal is with Dean. I really don't. All right, you guys, so that is it. Like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later.